Isn't it a little hot today? We have already done a few lessons on much and many, but this lesson is talking about little and few. How do we use little and few in our everyday conversations? This is what we are learning today. My name is Michelle, and please stay with me to learn more on this topic. In this lesson, we are looking at little, a little, and the little. Do you see that we use different articles with little and also with few? What do you think? Do they all have the same meaning? Well, if they did, we would not be doing this lesson. The reason that we are doing this lesson is because all of these have different meanings. When we say little, it's very different from few. And when we say little and a little, they also have a very different meaning. A little and the little also have a very different meaning. So first of all, let's look at the form of little and few. What are they? They are called quantifiers. Which means that they are telling us about the quantity of something, all right? Much and many tells us how much of something or how great a quantity of something do we have. But little or few tell us how less of something do we have, okay? But less in what way? We'll try and understand now by reading the first sentence. He showed dash concern for his brother, okay? So, because the main noun of this sentence is concern. So can you count the number of concern on your finger? Can you say concerns and say 1, 2, 3 concern? No, you can't. So this means that this is an uncountable noun, all right? And whenever we have an uncountable noun, let's see, should we use little or few? He showed few concern for his brother. That will be incorrect. So we'll say he showed little concern for his brother. Okay, now let's look at the next one. She had dash moments on her own. So we can use few here because we can count the noun here. So we can count the number of moments, therefore we also have an S here. She had few moments on her own. Okay. Now let's try to understand the meaning of these sentences, all right? When we say that he showed little concern for his brother, it means that he showed hardly any concern for his brother, which means negative. It has a negative meaning. Let's look at the second sentence. She had few moments on her own. This means she did not have enough time on her own and she wanted just a few moments. Hardly any moments, okay? So she hardly had any moments on her own. Or you could say, he hardly showed any concern for his brother. So little or few mean hardly any. Okay? Now here we look at the next set of sentences that we have. There is dash hope for his recovery. So, as you already know that we use little with an uncountable noun, the rule will apply here also, okay? So we'll say there is a little hope for his recovery. And we say this because hope is an uncountable noun. Let's look at the next one. She had dash moments on her own. So now moments are a countable noun. And therefore we are going to use a few. We could also say that she had a few good moments on her own, which means that she had some time on her own, which is a positive meaning. she had some good memories possibly which she's remembering. So she could say she had a few good moments on her own, all right? But when we say she had few moments on her own, this has a very negative meaning, okay? Which means that she wanted more time, but she actually couldn't get it. So all that she had was a few moments on her own. And therefore, when we use little or few, it shows a negative meaning. But whenever we use a little, okay, with the cute a which adds a positive meaning to it, there is more hope of something and it has a positive meaning. For example, in this sentence, there is a little hope for his recovery. So this means that someone who is suffering is going to recover very soon and there is a little hope for his recovery. So possibly that person will recover soon. And this has a positive meaning. Okay, now we look at the next set of sentences that we have with the article the little or the few. Okay, dash information he had was not quite reliable. I'm sure you're an expert by now that where should you use little or few. So little is used with an uncountable noun. And is information uncountable or friends? Of course, information is uncountable. You cannot count information on your fingers and you cannot add an S to it, all right? Therefore, we'll say the little information he had was not quite reliable. So maybe somebody is trying to investigate a case, okay, and they want information on it and they're not able to find any information. But they meet a person who has some information, very little, okay, but that information is also not reliable. So they say that the little information that he had was not quite reliable. The next one would be he lost the few friends, okay, because it's a plural countable noun. He lost the few friends he had, okay. So this means that he already had very less friends, okay, and out of them, all that he had, he lost. So possibly he lost all his friends, which were already very few. So the little or the few means all that there is, which is not much. Okay, and I certainly want you to remember a point here, okay? We never use few with, singular countable nouns, all right? You cannot say he lost the few friend he had because that would be singular, all right? We'll say he lost the few friends he had. So a plural countable noun always. Like here, she had a few moments on her own. It would be wrong to say she had a few moment on her own. All right, so do not forget to always use it with a plural countable noun. Now we look at the last section that we have, all right? This is a little bit tricky. And here we are talking about the prepositions that we can use with a little or a few. Okay, let's read the first sentence. Blend the flour with a little dash the milk. Okay, so the rule is that whenever you have the, okay, whenever you have a little before the, you join them with a preposition and that would be of, okay. Blend the flour with a little of the milk. And why did we use little here? Because obviously we have milk which is uncountable. So you can imagine, someone saying this sentence while they're cooking something and they're sharing the recipe with the viewers or maybe the people who are listening to them. So there is, this table where they have flour, they have milk and other elements or other ingredients of the recipe. And the person who is speaking says, blend the flour, okay, with a little of the milk. So now we say milk we add the to milk because we are talking about specific milk, all right? Not the general milk, but the milk that is lying on the table. If we do not say that, then we are talking about general milk, just milk anywhere. So that's why we say the. And because we have the and a little, we need to join them with of. And the same rule applies here. A few dash the boys were playing in the garden. A few of the boys were playing in the garden. So we have the, which is the article before the countable plural noun, and a few. And we need to join the with a few using the preposition of. Alright, I hope this was not very confusing and would have rather helped you understand the use of little, few, a few, the few much better than you knew before. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. I hope you have a great time ahead. Bye-bye.